Hi and welcome to this video which is about the Oric one and the dflat programming language, this time doing sound. I'm going to start a program that I've already prepared to start loading, and all I'm doing is piping a WAV file which I've created using a VLC, which is now playing, and that's basically going through the PC out through to the cassette inputs of the Oric one. So I'm using a real Oric one here rather than an emulator, because the emulator doesn't actually really show the sound as well as the Oric can produce it. While that's loading then, just to explain what this is about. So in trying to come up with some music, I was reminded by a friend of the ringtone text transfer language, which is a specification by Nokia back in the day to be able to play different ringtones on the old style mobile phones. And the specification of that is on Wikipedia, so you can look it up, ringtone text transfer language. And what this program is doing is decoding a string, which is the ringtone, in RTTL format, and then essentially parsing that to be able to play it through a dflat. So that's what this piece of code does. Essentially at the bottom there's something called init music, and all that init music does is it takes this string, and you can see around line 250, 260, 270 and 280 it builds a string, and then it goes and parses that, which is what the rest of the code here does, and creates a format which is easy for the Oric using dflat to be able to play. So I'll start the demo. Start is just the definition, the start function I've defined. 11 is the speed, and 0 means that it never stops. So let's go. So it takes a few seconds to parse the RTTL data. Basically that string that appears there, each comma separated value is being examined, and then the appropriate notes, octaves and durations are being transferred to a set of arrays, and then the rest of the code simply just steps through the array, plays the note, waits for the amount of time it needs to wait, and then goes to the next note until it gets to the end, and then it will either continue or stop depending on the input. Here it's just going to keep going round and round. So this is one of my favorite little disses. I've used it on my Tetris game for dflat on the Oric, and here it is actually written by someone, and probably sounds more proper than the one that I've got. So you can see there are 64 notes. The 64th one's just going off the screen there, and it's all being done by my trusty Oric that I've owned since it was new in 1983. I do have an Atmos, and I tried to do the demo on the Atmos, but the Atmos has got a very noisy speaker, and I've had to damp it with some cotton wool, and so it was rather too quiet. So I'll just stop that, and that's dflat playing a tune that has been built using the RTTL specification, and you can actually find thousands of tunes on the internet in RTTL format. So in principle I could easily change the lines of code here on this function called init music, and have a completely different tune. And in fact I have also got there, you can see 330, it's all commented out, but Aha's Take On Me as well I had tried out. So that shows that with this little routine I've got access to thousands of tunes. Thank you for watching.